Hey guys, Cody with CJC Off-Road. Now it's been a couple videos since we did anything on the 23 Super Duty that we purchased. We figured we'd do a quick update for you. I know I've been answering the phones a lot this summer while different guys are on vacation, and I've heard so many questions about kind of what we thought of this truck, kind of what we've done to it moving forward, things like that. So diving right on into it, you're gonna notice we did a little bit of a wheel and tire swap. Just out of curiosity, because with the 371350s, we basically had to do no trimming on this truck for around town driving. We figured, why not see what we can push on this truck with a little bit of trimming? We had a set of 5-inch back spacing, 20-inch TR wheels sitting here, and we figured, hey, let's throw some of these 38-inch ridge grapplers on it and see what happens. So again, this is a 38 by 1350 R20 Nitto ridge grappler on a 5-inch back spacing, 20-inch trail ready street lock wheel. So I think most of you guys will agree, we're pretty stoked with how this turned out. Again, this is the Carlin suspension 2.5, 3.5 leveling kit. With the original block setup that came on this truck, we netted 3.5 inches of lift up front. And then when we went with the Carlin full progressive spring pack in the rear, we netted 1 inch of lift in the rear. That's what leaves this truck sitting level and allows us to clear this 37 or 38-inch tire package. Now, as far as our feedback driving around town, things like that, if you have test driven the HO trucks or you own one now, you'll agree it is definitely quicker than the 21, 22 trucks. It's nothing, it's not night and day different, but it's definitely noticeably quicker. This truck also, because it does not have the trimmer package, has the higher rear end gear package with, like, I think it's the 331s. So you did notice it is, when you did put the 38s on, you're like, all right, it's there. And actually that's kind of a very interesting thing to note. I think the trans tuning, something to do with kind of the intelligence or how the TCM works on this truck, seems to be a little bit different than the previous years. It could be a placebo effect, but when this truck initially got the 38s put on it, you did notice that the shift points just kind of seemed like they were off, even though we came from a 37-inch tire. However, about a week into driving it, all of a sudden you notice that the shifts are just extremely perfectly timed. Something, a lot of people complain about with the 10 speeds, it seems like it was in the wrong gear. I just think that's people that had 4 or 6-speed trucks before. This 10-speed, and just again with a little bit of wheel time with it, it just shifts perfectly. Something that, again, people are really worried about with these 10 speeds and what gears the truck going to go in. Is it going to know? I think the TCM, or however they have it programmed, is actually very smart, and I think it is a very cool aspect of these trucks. With this kind of power, the truck's constantly learning, constantly making changes to make sure it is driving nice. I think that's pretty cool. So that was an early comment we got on our Instagram when we posted this truck with 38s, is how is it with those 331s and 38s? It's actually not bad. Again, these trucks have so much response. The 10 speed, the high horsepower rating, like, these trucks get out of their way quite quickly. It is not like earlier generations of pickup trucks where when you went with bigger tires, you immediately needed to re-gear. It was a dog. You were concerned about transmission program. All that kind of goes out the window on these trucks, and they handle and drive really well with the bigger tires. Now, I will say, after putting 38s, my flatbed trailer, which is an all steel trailer, I assume somewhere in like the 3,000 to 4,000 pound range, and then putting a diesel truck on that trailer just to move something for the company, I did notice that, hey, there was a little bit more weight felt behind the truck with the 38s, but again, that's with this 331. Those of you with tremors, including my tremor that maybe one day Ford will build, that truck will have the 351 or 353 gears in it. That's probably going to help and make that a lot less noticeable. I've got some heavy towing plans in the future whenever that truck arrives, so we'll be able to put that to the test as well. But I did want to note that just how well this truck pulled with this setup, and I think a lot of that's due to both the HO and then this 10-speed transmission. Now I gotta say, when we first got the truck, the interior is extremely nice. The heads-up display, the technology in general on this truck is extremely high-end. I did kind of miss the way that it's gonna sound dumb, but the way the interior on like the 21, 22 trucks kind of enveloped you, and you kind of felt like you were more in the cockpit, versus on these trucks, the dashboard's extremely flat. It does feel a little different. However, putting more miles on it, I think I can live without that. Again, just using all of the features. The heads-up display when you're off-road and four-wheel drive, just how what data goes on the windshield. It's just an extremely cool setup. Towing, things like that. California here, we have a towing speed limit. It's pretty easy to blow past. We all do it. However, it's pretty nice to know just how far ahead you are when you're coming into towns, coming into areas where you know there's speed checks, things like that. The heads-up display, while I thought was going to be something of a nuisance, something I'd never experienced before, found out that was a very cool option. Still loving driving this truck around town again. What better solution do you have for both hauling, commuting, having fun on the weekends? These trucks truly do it all for you. Again, so going from the 21 to the 23, I was, still kind of iffy. Again, I think my permanent truck, if you will, a Tremor version, hopefully will be built soon. But yeah, these 23 trucks are just extremely nice, and I have no complaints jumping from the 21 to the 23. Overall, I think aesthetics, probably I still prefer the way my 21 looked over this truck. However, the bed step, all that stuff, I've seen bed step deletes popping up online and things like that. Extremely useful. Loading mountain bikes in the backs, things like that. I do have a new camper project in the works that we're going to do another video on. This step's going to be extremely convenient for that. So while something I thought initially hideous, it is way more utilitarian than thought before, and so therefore I think I could overlook how it looks and just enjoy its usefulness. So yeah, I think we can all agree pretty much for the 23-24 year vehicles, this is still going to be the best option out there as far as the HD trucks. I've noticed Cole coming out into the shop, checking out the 23s we're working on. I know he's been looking with a lustful eye. I don't understand how Ram hasn't really done any major updates since 19. Hopefully we're going to see that in the 25 variation maybe. Again, the 24 Duramax, those are decent trucks. I'd probably shelf it somewhere between the Dodge and the Super Duty. However, these current new Super Duties really are leading the charge on an extremely nice driving HD truck. Something that 20 years ago wasn't an option. You were basically stuck having a tow rig, having a daily driver truck or car. These trucks are really able to blend that up, and I think that's truly why these trucks have gotten so popular. So if you like this video, you like this truck, down below, leave us a comment. We'll be happy to get back to you. Any questions you have about the 23, we're ready to respond as well. And if you're looking to get a little suspension for your truck, we do have a whole different set of videos for that. Even the very first teaser video we did with this truck really dives deep into the suspension configuration. Check that video out. Feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. We'll see you guys on the next one.